Assalamu alaikum. I wanted to pop on here real quick because I could not go someplace else and do a live and not pop in and talk to my tribe. All right. Let me get my Insta people here. Assalamu alaikum, Insta people. Let me move my muscle out the way. So, here. Let's talk about muscle and fat real quick. Let me grab my fat. Not like I gotta go any place for that, but I'm gonna grab my demonstration fat. So this is a quick little truth buster. What does that mean? That means that there are several videos floating around, pictures floating around on the internet that says this is 5 pounds of fat and this is 5 pounds of muscle. And the truth is it has been altered. Have you ever seen that picture and it has a piece of fat that's like this, a piece of muscle that's like this small and then a piece of fat that's like this big, and they're like, oh, both of these weigh the same. That has been altered. It is a lie. So what is not a lie is the two demos that I have in front of me that shows 5 pounds of fat versus 5 pounds of muscle. So here we go. This is 5 pounds of muscle. This is 5 pounds of fat. Fat is larger than muscle, but it is not the huge difference that that picture shows. Fat is about 30% larger than muscle. So if you see, right, here are this is the difference, right? So fat is actually fattier, right? It's a little longer. It's more bumpy. So I'm gonna talk specifically about like why the difference between fat and muscle. So muscle, so this is a real life replica, which means they made it as similar in look and feel and weight as it is in real life. Oops, my fat fell. So, as you can see, muscle is smooth. It is firm, right? So this is what muscle. It is more dense than fat. So what that means is 5 pounds of fat and 5 pounds of muscle, they both on the scale weigh 5 pounds, but muscle is much more concentrated. So it is 30% smaller than fat. Let me get my fat to show you. The thing about fat is that it is, as you can see, trying to get both in the end, it is bumpy. Right? I don't know if you can see how bumpy. I can't just rub my hand without my fingers going up and down. It is very bumpy. This is the reason why when you have cellulite, it is this underneath your skin, right? In order to reduce cellulite underneath your skin, you can't just burn the fat, because if you have less fat, it is still going to be bumpy underneath your skin. You must build smooth muscle in order for you to have your skin to be pressed and the fat pressed against this muscle, right? Because the layers is there's muscle, there's fat, and then there's skin. So you want to get enough muscle that it's pressing the fat flat, and this is what is underneath this is the shape that you want to see underneath your skin, and less of this shape. So when I was on a guest on the Oprah Winfrey Show, one of the haha moments was I said, no matter where you choose to worship, all women want to know the same thing. How do you get rid of cellulite? Well, here is the answer to that question. Build more muscle. Because muscle is going to, one, increase your metabolism, so you're going to burn more fat. And number two, it's going to smooth out the skin so that it isn't bumpy like on top of fat. The other thing about fat, and I hope you can tell from the video, it is kind of jiggly, right? That's the reason why fat looks jiggly. I told you it's a real life replica. Versus, if I did that to muscle, the whole thing is going to move, not just the tip or pieces. You can see the difference between the jiggle. Jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. That was kind of weird to play with. Okay, so this is much more jiggly. Fat is firm. This is much more bumpy. Fat is smooth. This burns more calories at rest than this. What does that mean? For every pound of muscle that you have, you increase your metabolism by 50 calories a day. The same is true for every pound of muscle that you lose, you decrease your metabolism by 50 calories a day. Why is that? Because it takes your body much more energy in order for it to maintain your muscle, because it's going to really try to maintain muscle than it does for it to maintain fat. So, two people, we talked about size before, right? So we're going to talk about how this relates in metabolism. Two people, exactly the same weight, 150 pounds, exactly the same height, 5'5". Remember before I talked to you about a couple of lives ago, we talked about the difference that body fat makes and body muscle makes in terms of metabolism. The more muscle you have, your higher your metabolic rate is going to be. And that's why BMI is not the only measure of health. It is a measure of health. It's just not the only measure of health. So, two people in front of you, 5'5", 150 pounds. They're both the same on this BMI scale, but one of them has 20% fat in their body, which means they have a large percentage of muscle, and the other one is 40% fat in their body, which means they have a much smaller amount of muscle. So that 150, that's a big difference in what's fat and what's muscle. The person who has more muscle, less body fat, more body muscle, and the same weight is going to be able to eat more calories, require more protein, require more carbohydrates, require more fat. Their metabolic rate is going to be higher to maintain that amount of muscle than somebody who is 40% fat. Right? Their metabolic rate is like, I don't need that much because I'm a lot of fat and I don't even require that many calories. So that is the difference between fat and muscle. So just a quick little recap. Remember that for every pound of muscle that you gain, which is why we want to do weight training, ladies, you will increase your metabolism by about 50 calories a day. That is your resting metabolic rate. That is every time you go to sleep, you are actually burning more calories, right? That's the reason why weight training is so important. I cannot emphasize that enough. You will look toner, smoother, reduce cellulite the more muscle that you have. Lift weights, get more muscles to get rid of this stuff, because this underneath the skin is the reason why it looks like cellulite. It is literally the fat, and then if you can see the way that they design this, there's like dimples in here, which is how your skin, they put the little red spot to indicate like where the skin is attached. Your skin is attached, and then it attaches in the dimple, and that is what you see when you're looking at cellulite. And that is your reminder for today. I'm getting ready to jump on Clubhouse, so if you are there, catch me inside of the Muslim Club, and let's chat about what does it mean to eat healthy in Islam. All right? I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Assalamu alaikum.